Hello? 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 It's on. Can you guys hear me in the back? Okay. Welcome everyone to Clemson University 2024 3-minute thesis competition. How are you guys feeling? Excited? Yeah, let's make some noise. Good. My name is Arohi Singhal, and I'm the Director of Research Initiative, a graduate student government committee. Before we start today's competition, I would like to thank members of the Clemson community who have been integral in making 3MT happen. First off, I want to thank the members of Research Initiative Committee who have taken the time of their busy schedule to volunteer and help handle all the details for the process. I especially want to thank the Deputy Director, Shalini Etukuri, who's standing in the back, my Deputy Director of Research Initiatives, who has been a great help every step of the way. Thank you to all the associate deans of all the colleges, as you have been great in this event coming to fruition. Finally, I want to thank to the key members of the graduate school, especially Dr. Marie Kevin Pembroke, Dr. Jenny Pes-Graves, Rebecca Toe, and our Dean Lopes for their unwavering support throughout the 3MT process. For the staff, faculty, and administrators that have taken the time to be here with us today, thank you. We know everyone in this room has a busy schedule, and we sincerely appreciate your visible support for our graduate student body by being here today. Few important things for our finalists. Today we have 18 top graduate students from all the spectrum of graduate degrees, discipline, colleges. Out of these 18 talks, today we have 5 from master students, 5 from doctoral students, and 8 of our finalists are doctoral candidates. Our finalists were the top scores of their respective colleges as scored by a panel of 34 judges in our preliminary round. Finalists, we applaud all your hard work and perseverance getting to this point, and we look forward to hearing about your research. Thank you. All of our 18 graduate students will be competing to be the winner of 2024 3MT competition. The first place prize winner will receive $1,000 and will go on to compete at the regional competition, which is going to happen in Texas, Dallas, next year. The second place winner will receive a $750, and the third place will win $500. In addition, we also have 2 People's Choice Award that is voted by the audience and is sponsored by Clemson University Research Foundation, CURF, for $250 each. I'll provide more details regarding the People's Choice voting a bit later. For the judges, what will our competitors be judged on? Each competitor will be assessed on the judging criteria as outlined by the 3-minute thesis competition founded by the University of Queensland. Our 6 esteemed judges will be scoring each competitor in the 2 categories of comprehension and content and engagement and communication. For the comprehension and content, the presentation should provide a clear background and significance to the research question. The presenter should clearly describe the research strategy, design, and the results finding of their research. And the presenter should clearly describe the conclusion, outcomes, and impact of their research. For the engagement and communication, the oration should be delivered clearly and the language was appropriate for our non-specialist audience. The PowerPoint slide was well-defined and enhanced the presentation, and the presenter conveyed enthusiasm for their research and captured and maintained the audience attention. Topics that will be presented today demonstrate the expansive work covering the many different programs and research areas across Clemson. To this end, the judges will be focusing on evaluate our finalists' overall presentation, regardless of the methodologies, approaches, variables, or analysis that are being discussed. For the flow of the day, before I turn my microphone to the graduate school dean to introduce our judges, there are few housekeeping items I would like all you to please remember. The schedule for the day is visible on your left on the side of the screen. It shows the order of the presenters as well as the breaks in the schedule. Each finalist will have 3 minutes to present their research. As they are getting into the place at the front of the stage, we will show an introduction slide, including their name and title of their talk, as well as their degree program, colleges, and advisor. The 3-minute timer will start the moment they turn their slide and to begin. Following the conclusion of their talk, the judges will have 3 minutes to score and provide feedback. If you are a competitor, we ask that you navigate to the far right wall to the 2-3 competitors before you are scheduled to receive your microphone and prepare for your talk. When we show your introduction slide, please move into the place at front of the stage. After you have concluded your presentation, you are free to leave the stage during the judges' scoring. We ask that you walk back to the right side in order to return your microphone at the back of the room. Clear to the competitors? Any doubts, judges? Thank you. Judges, after each finalist, you will have 3 minutes to score and provide any comments. During this time, we will repeat their introduction slide as a reference point. At the end of 3 minutes, we will change the slide to prepare for the next competitor. Please note that the 3-minute time frame is a hard stop, and the competitors that go over 3 minutes will be automatically disqualified from the competition. For the audience, we understand that you have to go and come back in the room, but please be respectful while someone is presenting. Please don't open the door while someone is talking. Once the judges are scoring, you are most welcome to go out of the room, have some water, drinks, and then come back. For the food and the drinks, it will be provided during the duration of the event, during the breaks, seen as you can see in the schedule. We will stop for the break at approximately 4 p.m., and we invite you to enjoy the appetizers and the drinks that will be provided outside. The award center asks that you enjoy all the food and the drinks only in the atrium, as no food or drinks can be brought back into the auditorium for round 2. And finally, the aim of this competition is to arm our graduate student with the skill of public speaking and translating their work to a general audience. As they have worked hard on their presentations and are excited to present their hard work, please be respectful during all the presentations and limit talking, walking around, and working on devices. And my final request is, if you haven't, please silence all your mobile phones. We don't want anyone's phone to be ringing while someone is presenting. Thank you so much. Now, I want Dr. Marie-Gemen Pembroke to please come here, talk about 3MT and introduce our judges. Thank you.
Okay, hi everybody. Okay, this is my favorite event really of the year. This is so exciting, and I'm so glad to have you all here for the 3MT competition. I need to follow my notes so I make sure I stay within my time frame as well. So very importantly, related to trying not to create any sort of disruption, our finalists are going to be up here and they're going to be very nervous, right? It's just natural. So just make sure you're smiling at them and sort of encouraging them with your energy while they're up here, okay? It's been my honor to hear so many of our finalists do their practice rounds, and we were able to practice in here. And I'll tell you, the work that our graduate students are doing is so inspiring. So you're really in for a huge treat today. Dean John Lopes, Dean of the Graduate School, is so sad that he is not able to be here today, and he wanted me to convey his most sincere apologies for not being here. He would only miss this for one reason, and that is that his son is getting married tomorrow in Massachusetts. So he couldn't figure it out how to get here. He tried to be able to leave late, but his wife was like, I don't think that's the best idea. So in honor of that, he is there, but he really is sad to be missing this and will be watching the recorded stream of this as well. So he does send his apologies and also his very best wishes to our finalists. So a true confession. First of all, okay, maybe I shouldn't start with this confession, but I wasn't the best undergraduate student, okay? That's true. Like, I wasn't the top of my class by any stretch of the imagination. I had a really fantastic time in college, and I learned a lot about myself, and I learned later in my 4 years, like, okay, I love my field, recreational therapy. It was fantastic. However, I thought my bachelor's degree would be the very end of my time in school, and I was sure that when I was done, I was done. Okay, so flash forward 30 plus years. I'm an associate dean in the graduate school. I've had my PhD for over 20 years, and when I went to graduate school, I swore, I do not want to do research. I'm terrified of research. It sounds so hard. It sounds so complicated. I really want to teach because I love my field, but I don't really want to do research. And then I found out how much fun research could be. Research is so extraordinary. You really get to make changes in policy. You get to change the way we do things in the world. I myself am a yoga researcher, which if you had told me this as a graduate student who had never done yoga a day in my life at that point, I would have thought that was bananas. But research has changed me, and I am so excited in the way that research is changing the world. And today, you get to see the work that our graduate students are doing and the research that they're doing and the way that they're changing the world. And I promise you, you are going to leave here with your hearts full of the promise for tomorrow based on the work of our graduate students. So this really is the very best event to showcase the work that our students are doing. So as Arohi mentioned, one of the key issues for this program is to bring difficult work, very difficult research, very academic, very theoretical sometimes very applied work, and talk about it in a compelling manner in 3 minutes. Okay, that is a really hard task. So what you're seeing up here today are very courageous and brave graduate students who are really putting it on the line. So it's really quite a sight to see. And I do want to point out that Dr. Vishal Thomas is here. Dr. Vishal Thomas won the 3MT competition here last year. Yes. He then went on to the regional competition, won the regional competition, and is going to the national competition in December. So my friends, you have great footsteps to follow in. Yes. And in fact, he was just speaking about, with Chase Casper from KERF, about his pitch. So based on the work that he did here in his PhD, the work that he did in his 3MT presentation, he's now going to be presenting that to KERF and working on developing a patent for his work. So let me tell you, you can take these skills so far. It's really so exciting. I want to make sure that I also acknowledge the research initiatives team. They have worked so hard on putting this competition together. Dr. Arohi Singhal is the director. She mentioned Dr. Shalini Tukuri, I know, thank you. I worked on that and I messed it up. I'm so sorry, Shalini. She's the deputy director and the team is here. So huge thanks to the team. I also need to make sure that the Grad 360 team is acknowledged for their hard work too. So Dr. Jenny Pressgraves, Dr. Rebecca Tao is outside. You checked in with her. So huge thanks to my team as well. Okay, now it is time for me to introduce the judges. So we have amazing judges here today. And judges, we really appreciate your time and your effort in coming today and supporting our graduate students. So our first judge is D'Alva Arnold. She is the CEO and founder of the D. Wilson Agency. She holds a Master's of Business Administration from Winthrop University and Executive Coaching and Diversity Consultant certifications from the University of Georgia and Cornell University. She has had a successful 20-year career in corporate America with leadership roles in technology, enterprise program management, operations, marketing, and governance to start an entrepreneurial journey. Since then, her efforts at the D. Wilson Agency have been dedicated to businesses and initiatives that have an impact on effectual leadership, improving business results through cultural transformation, bold enterprise programs, and process change that improves the lives and economic position of people while improving business outcomes. So welcome, D'Alva. Thank you so much for being here. Our next judge is Dr. Jennifer Concepcion Acevedo. She is from the CDC. She is an associate director for science, and she lives in Puerto Rico. Dr. Concepcion Acevedo completed her PhD in microbiology from the University of Massachusetts Amherst, where she studied potential drug targets against the African sleeping sickness. During her postdoctoral training at Emory University, she investigated the impact of bacterial antibiotic resistance on antimicrobial pharmacodynamics, I should have practiced these words, and treatment outcomes. Previously, the Global Health Team Unit Lead for the CDC, she is now an Associate Director for Science, where she focuses on the CDC's public health mission in the U.S. territories. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Our third judge is Chase Casper. Chase is the Senior Deputy Director for the Clemson University Research Foundation and a registered technology transfer professional. He joined Clemson University in February 2019. He is the former Assistant Vice President for Research Technology Transfer and Corporate Engagement at the University of Southern Mississippi, where he served for 6 years. And I just want to point out, too, this wasn't in his bio, but he is such a strong supporter of innovation in graduate research. So thank you so much for being here today, Chase. Our fourth judge is Dr. Patricia Randall. She is a director at Princeton Consultants. She holds a Master's of Science and PhD in Industrial Engineering from Clemson University. She joined Princeton Consultants in 2007, where she specializes in the design, development, and implementation of large-scale, high-impact systems that help businesses optimize their decision-making at the strategic, tactical, and operational levels. She works on-site with client executives and subject matter experts with a team of optimizers, software developers, and mathematicians. She has used many different approaches and algorithms to create functional models that quickly deliver the best possible results for very complex and real-world problems. She's also a member of the Graduate Schools Advisory Board. Thank you so much for being here today, Pat. Our fifth judge, Dr. Robert Randall, is a senior optimization specialist for Princeton Consultants. He attended Clemson University for his graduate work in industrial engineering, both his Master's of Science and PhD. After completing his PhD, Rob started as a senior associate at Princeton Consultants with an information technology and management consulting firm. With more than 17 years of experience on the front line of the optimization revolution, he is now a senior optimization specialist at Princeton Consultants. He specializes in the design, development, and implementation of large-scale, high-impact systems that help businesses optimize their decision-making at the strategic, tactical, and operation levels. Rob's background in industrial engineering enables him to successfully translate complex mathematical models to messy business realities. Thank you so much for being here, Rob. I should mention Rob is also a member of our Graduate Advisory Board. And then finally, our sixth judge hails from the brand new College of Veterinary Medicine here at Clemson. Dr. Diane Dunning is the Associate Vice President of Marketing and Community Relations for the College of Veterinary Medicine at Clemson University. She has worked as an assistant professor at the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, and Louisiana State University. She later served as a special assistant to the dean at Washington State University and the associate dean of advancement at NC State College of Veterinary Medicine. She has also held various roles at NC State University, including associate dean of advancement, professor of clinical sciences, and assistant dean of college relations. Thank you so much for being here today. Okay, holy cow, what an amazing panel, right? This is exciting. Okay, everybody, finalists, the time is now. The time has come. Everybody take a deep breath with me. Exhale. You've got this. You know this. You're going to wow us with your work. So, without further ado, we'll turn it over to Arohi to get us started.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Van Pembroke. Okay. Bigger. Yeah. Okay, so we are officially ready to start the competition. Our first participant for the Clemson University 2024 3-minute thesis final competition is Stephanie Tracy. She's a PhD student in the Teaching and Learning Department from the College of Education. And it's working? It is working. The title of Stephanie's talk is Culturally Responsive Teaching Unlocking Diversity in STEM.
One's okay. Is my mic working? Hello? Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Hi, everyone. Unlike my competitors here today, I'm not coming to tell you that I've invented some new machinery, try to solve world hunger, or use some new AI. I know that's all cool, but I'm here to talk about something that's more crucial. How do we create innovators like myself and the competitors here today? And the solution is through our teachers. My research focuses on culture responsive teaching to actually unlock diversity in STEM. Currently, under 17% of minoritized group of people are studying STEM here in the US. And guess what? Even low as 4% are actually in the workforce. So what's going on? Well, America is falling behind its counterparts because we're afraid of using the diverse people that we have here, and we're losing out on that. And our competitors are getting the edge. My research focusing on using cultural responsive teaching, which is actually coined by Gloria Billings and Landon, which is stating that teachers uses cultural references in the classroom to engage students, engaging students that would never normally see themselves in STEM. I know many of you here have grown up seeing that picture of a scientist, that male in that white coat, and think that's the representation of STEM. Moving forward, I'll give you an example of what that looks like in the classroom. Say your teacher is teaching you something about ecosystem, and she decides to use an example from a country far, far away. Would you think the students are able to connect with that? Step forward. Teacher using an example resonate with the students in their local community, enact that real life experience so they can enact that change. My research currently in South Carolina is collecting data in the classroom. Seeing teachers using this with driven real examples, students are driving that question and solving problems just like my competitors here today. Many of you will say, I've done this in my class with my lectures and my portfolio that I've created. But guess what? Whose culture are you responding to when you're teaching this? Because we're still lacking in diversity. Thank you.
That was a great talk, Stephanie. Thank you. For our judges. Next up, we have Som Dikshit, a PhD candidate in automotive engineering from the College of Engineering, Computing and Applied Sciences. The title of Som's talk is Unlocking the Potential of Metal 3D Printing High Strength Aluminum Alloys. Good luck, Som.
Hello. Imagine you are boarding a flight and excited about your journey. But one thing, what you might have not realized is that every flight contributes to a significant emission of carbon dioxide into Earth's atmosphere. In fact, one of the recently published report has stated that commercial aircraft alone release around 918 million metric ton of carbon dioxide globally. These emission plays a huge role in global warming, causing the temperature of our own planet Earth to rise year after year. Also, we all are aware about the consequences of global warming on the living life. So the question is, how can we reduce this carbon dioxide emission and make our flying more sustainable? One of the solutions is by reducing the weight of the aircraft by making parts which are light and yet strong. Believe me, this is possible by a technique called as topology optimization, which is a smarter way of designing the part where you are removing the material from the areas that don't carry much load while keeping the material to the areas that do. In simple terms, think of it like you are reducing the weight of the part without compromising its strength. Through my approach, through this approach, we can literally reduce the fuel consumption and we can reduce the carbon dioxide emission. But here is a catch. Manufacturing these lightweight, new and optimized design isn't an easy task. Conventional manufacturing processes like casting struggle to work with these kind of complex design. So we turn into a new dynamic technology called as metal 3D printing that can handle these complex design at an ease. However, while 3D printing is great, it comes with its own set of challenges while working with the most widely used aircraft structural material called as aluminum alloys. 3D printed aluminum alloy exhibit challenges and defects like porosity and cracks, which deteriorates the part properties and limiting their application to the aircraft structures. This is where my research comes into an action. I am developing solution to solve these defect problem. I am using two approaches like process optimization and composition alteration through which I am completely eliminating these defects, and through this I am able to make the 3D printed part that can be directly used in the aircraft structures. Through my research, I will help aerospace industries to move towards more sustainable flying so that we all can fly without worrying about our own carbon footprint. Thank you for my presentation. Yeah.
Thank you, Som. Next up, we have Manvinder Singh Brar, a PhD candidate in the Department of Genetics and Biochemistry in the College of Science. The title of Manvinder's talk is Slowing Down Aging in Maize Leaves, the Role of Plant Chemicals.
Thank you. Did you know more people die from hunger than some of the deadliest diseases like HIV, AIDS, tuberculosis? Every single day, around 25,000 people die because they do not have enough food. Thus, improving agriculture is more important now than ever before. Maize or corn is one of the most important cereal crop in the world. It feeds millions of people and animals and is an important product for industry. But growing enough of it is getting harder due to climate change. Plants, just like humans, age and stop working as they get old. This decline in productivity can have massive impact on food security. What if we can slow the aging process in plants? In my research, I'm trying to find ways to increase the life cycle of plants. By doing that, we will be giving plants more time to do their job, which is to produce more food. To do this, I selected two varieties that age differently. One age fast and dies early. The other age slowly and stays alive for long. I wanted to identify chemicals that are responsible for differences in aging in these varieties. So I collected the leaf samples and extracted all the chemicals. Of 1,000 chemicals that I identified, about half were statistically different between them. Looking closely, two of the chemicals, naringenin chalcone and anthocyanins, were notably high in the leaves of slow-aging variety. I thought these were the chemicals I was looking for. To confirm it, I intentionally modified the regions of the DNA that are responsible for the production of these chemicals and developed modified plants that lack these chemicals. Comparing these modified plants with the normal plants, guess what I found? The modified plants aged fast and died early. I was interested about these results. But then I thought, what is so special about these chemicals? I did some more experiments and found these chemicals have antioxidant properties. And now it all made sense. Antioxidants reduce cell stress. Modified plants lacking these chemicals couldn't lower the cell stress that they experienced during aging, and they died eventually. These results have huge implications, as if we can develop plants that will make enough of these chemicals, we can assure that these plants will stay alive for longer and they will survive the harsh environment. And we will be getting more food from these plants, and we will be taking a step forward towards eliminating world hunger. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That was wonderful, Manvinder. next competitor is Virginia Clark, a PhD candidate in the education and human development from the College of Education. And the title of Virginia's talk is Neurobiological Context of Learning and Attention. Good luck, Virginia.
Listen, do you hear the air conditioning whirring away in the corner? Do you feel how soft the chair is that you're sitting on? Your brain was consciously aware of all of this information when you came in the room. But now that you're here, you're doing something else, you're paying attention and listening, your brain is no longer making you consciously aware of everything that is happening around you. The area of the brain that's responsible for this is the reticular activating system. I'm going to call it the RAS for short. And the RAS is one of the first stops as sensory information from your environment is sent up to the brain. And the role of the RAS is to filter out that ongoing, continued, kind of not necessary sensory information so you can focus. This is important for everyone, but it's especially important for kids who are sitting in classrooms every day. So my degree is in learning sciences, and I'm interested in the connection between human development, what is happening in the body and the brain, and then how we learn or acquire new information. So my question is really this: what's happening in this area of the brain in our kids? So to do this, I'm using a large data that's from the ABC data set, which is tracking 12,000 kids across the US for 10 years. And every year they're looking at 11,000 pieces of information, and then every 2 years they're doing brain scans. So to figure out this connection between the RAS and attention, I'm finding this area on their brain scans, I'm looking at its structure, I'm seeing if it changes with their age or over time, and then tracking that change. And then matching that to a measure of attention. So why does this matter? Well, one reason that this is important is that the CDC states that we have over 11% of our kids in the US who have been diagnosed with some form of ADHD. That means every day in schools all the way around the world that we have 11 million kids who may have struggles with attention. So my research and my results are important. They're still in progress, they're still in works. As you can imagine, this is a hefty task, so the results are promising, but they're still there. But for this research, the goal of this is to really dive in, to continue the conversation that our brain has the ability to change over time, to create a developmental timeline of this area of the brain, and then to bridge that into the educational spaces where it really matters. So the next time that you sit down to read a book, watch a movie, or learn something new, take stock of what's happening around you, because your brain already is. Thank you.
That was great, Virginia.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Mark Mason, a PhD candidate in the Environmental Engineering and Earth Sciences in the College of Engineering, Computing, and Applied Sciences. The title of Mark's talk is Batman versus Joker, the fight for the clean drinking water. Good luck, Mark. Go stand there for a split second.
As you can tell by my slide, I'm a big fan of the comic book Batman. And today, I'm going to tell you a real-life story where Batman fights his arch nemesis, the Joker. In this real-life story, PFAS are chemicals found in everyday items, such as your pizza boxes, your clothing, and even your toilet paper. Known as forever chemicals, PFAS are very hard to get rid of, and they have spread everywhere, even into our drinking water. Today, 98% of us have PFAS in our body. And here's the bad news. PFAS have been linked to several serious health issues, including liver disease, birth defects, and even cancer. So to no surprise, PFAS is the villain in this real-life story. But we have good news. We have a superhero called Bope that's ready to take them on. My research looks at using Bope's ability to use light as energy to break apart PFAS in our drinking water. Here's how it works. When light strikes Bope, it knocks one of Bope's electrons loose and creates what we call a hole. This hole is desperate for an electron, so it needs to snatch one from PFAS and destabilize it. Just like Batman fighting the Joker and saving Gotham City. But just like any superhero movie, there's a plot twist. As light continues to strike Bope and more electrons get knocked loose, these extra electrons start crowding the hole and prevent it from degrading PFAS in our drinking water. Think of it like this. If Batman is trying to fight the Joker and people get in the way, he can no longer fight the Joker. He needs to find a way to remove the crowd. And that's the issue I'm plagued with. Figuring out how to deal with these crowding electrons so that Bope can continue to fight against PFAS. And I have found the solution. Heat is the key. Heating Bope to an elevated temperature removes those crowded electrons from the scene and allows Bope to continue the fight against PFAS. Just like if it got hot outside, that crowd would want to go back home to their air conditioning homes. And with that crowd gone, Batman would be able to take down the Joker. And with that, I thank you for joining me on this real-life superhero journey where Bope defeats the villain PFAS and saves the day. Thank you. Thank you.
Great job, Mark.
Thank you. Hockey hat.
Our next finalist is Praise Ainla. She is a PhD student in the Department of Political Sciences from the College of Behavioral, Social, and Health Sciences. The title of Praise's talk is Building Flood Resilience in Coastal Communities. Good luck, Praise.
The Spartanburg community was a mess. After Hurricane Helene had passed through, Michael and Ellis Strickland returned to a home without power and their kitchen under 3 feet of water. They were devastated. They never expected this. They didn't even live near the coast. Sadly, people living in coastal communities face these situations a lot. With worsening storms and inadequate infrastructure, scientists predict that coastal communities could, in the near future, be entirely underwater. An example is Charleston County sinking at the rate of 4 millimeters per year. We have to take action now to save our coastal communities. But how do we save them? More importantly, who makes the decision to save your community from flooding? The federal government? Your town council? The answer my research proposes is people working together in a system called polycentric governance. For example, Charleston County works with other local towns, federal agencies like the Federal Emergency Management Agency, and community groups to manage flood risk. One result of their collaboration is creating flood plans. My research explores how these groups work together, or sometimes don't, because the strength of relationships shapes how communities prepare for and respond to flooding. Their collaboration could bring solutions like building flood walls or planting rain gardens to protect your neighborhood. So, to see if good relationships indeed lead to better flood plans, I am talking with local governments and community organizations, analyzing their interactions with each other and comparing these interactions to their existing flood solutions. For the Stricklands, their neighbors, and over 30 volunteers helped them clean up. But you know what? They did nothing to prevent the next flood. Did something similar happen in your community? Did your neighbors get together to plan for the future? Working with your neighbors prepares and protects everyone from the next disaster. My research aims to go beyond you volunteering during disasters to review how strategically building strong relationships in communities can bring lasting solutions to flooding and keep the flood out of our homes. Thank you.
Thank you, Praise. Next up, we have Benjamin Emmond, a PhD candidate in the physics and astronomy from the College of Science. The title of Benjamin's talk is Modeling the Brightest Explosion in the Universe. Good luck, Benjamin.
In 1967, military satellites detected unexpected gamma ray signals from space, bright flashes of light from dying stars and colliding stellar remnants called gamma ray bursts, or GRBs for short, the brightest explosions in the universe. Studying GRBs is important because they offer insights into the formation of heavy chemical elements like gold and platinum, and they also signify the births of new black holes, providing a deeper understanding of our universe. GRBs produce extremely powerful jets of material that launch out at near light speeds, colliding with surrounding gas and dust. These collisions produce shock waves. Think of them as cosmic sonic booms that heat and energize the material around them, causing it to emit a lasting glow. This afterglow is visible long after the initial flash of gamma rays. Modeling the afterglow light offers insights into the nature of the burst itself. Nature of the burst itself, like its energy or its surrounding environment. Astronomers tend to use models for this where they tweak the parameters to try to get a best fit result for any given GRB. The most accurate models involve detailed hydro simulations or detailed computer simulations of the shock waves, but these are very computationally expensive, and so it's impractical to run these for every single instance you want to try to fit the observed light from one of these events. So astronomers instead rely on simpler models that still capture the relevant physics, but pare down on some of the more complex aspects of the project. While these simpler models can help, they often suffer in accuracy regarding the earliest stages of the afterglow, which is the part that can tell us the most about the GRB itself. To address this, I developed a new simple model that describes accurately the behavior of the shocks in the very early afterglow, predicting the observed light. I've tested this model against very accurate simulations run here at Clemson on our high-performance computing cluster and found excellent agreement. It is the first model of its kind to be systematically tested against simulations of this caliber. By bridging this gap in gamma ray burst research, my work advances fundamental knowledge of gamma ray bursts, these spectacular cosmic explosions, and the brightest explosions in the universe. Thank you.
Thank you, Benjamin. Our next finalist is Chasanmol Singh, a PhD student in the Department of Agricultural Sciences from the College of Agriculture, Forestry, and Life Sciences. The title of Chasanmol's talk is Estimating Forage Biomass Yield Using Field Robotics. Good luck, Chasanmol.
Good afternoon, everyone. So after one more presentation, we'll have a break. And I can see most of us are hungry right now. So let's talk something about food. Suppose you went to a newly opened restaurant in your city and wanted to try a dish that is what you liked in the menu. So, till the time that dish is being prepared in the kitchen, can you all say with confidence that the dish will be able to fill your stomach or not? Probably not. There might be a case that you say, I think this dish is too much. I probably need a to-go box to take that remaining back with me. Or there may be a chance that you say, I think I need to order something else. I am very hungry right now. Similarly, in the case of forages and cattle, the cattle owners need to know if the forage being grown in their fields will be sufficient to fulfill their cattle feed requirements or not. Traditionally, the farmers used to go to the field and by looking at the forage, they used to say, I think this year I'm going to have like 5 tons of hectare of yield for my cattle. But what happens next? Sometimes these estimates were underestimated and sometimes they were overestimated. This means that at the end of consumption time, either the forage was left unconsumed or the cattle were left unfed. So this resulted in the introduction of some standardized methods that could easily and accurately predict the above ground biomass quantity for the cattle. So here my role comes in. We installed some sensors on the unmanned aerial and ground vehicles, which we commonly know as drones and ground rovers. So now these sensors were capturing the crop height data on the field, and based on that crop height, they were correlated with the actual harvested biomass quantity in the field. So we have the harvested biomass weight in the field. We have the crop height corresponding to that biomass. So we correlated that and developed a prediction model that gave us how much biomass you have in the field when the drones and ground rover were measuring the height of the crop in the field. So with this, we were able to achieve 3 goals. Number 1 is the cattle are getting their proper feed. Number 2 is the cattle owners are making their expected profits. And number 3 is the forage is consumed well. Thanks.
Thank you, Chasanmol. So for the first round, our last participant is Kristen K. Fink, a PhD student in the Department of Teaching and Learning from the College of Education. The title of Kristen's talk is, Are They Smiling Yet? Collaboration for Effective Field Trips. Good luck, Kristen.
It's this one.
Let the camera catch you.
Hey, sorry, where am I seeing my slide? Okay, we'll go. Today, I want to take you back to what I hope is a positive memory from your childhood. You arrive at school, sack lunch in hand, your classroom is bubbling with excitement. After what feels like forever, you and your classmates line up and walk to the bus. You sit next to your best friend, chatting excitedly until finally you arrive. You and your friends smile at each other in anticipation of the fabulous field trip you're about to experience. Can everyone imagine this feeling? Can you picture that smile on your best friend's face? Now, just for a moment, I'd like you to picture another face, that of your teacher. Are they smiling? Now, don't get me wrong, I was a teacher for more than a dozen years, and I took students on many field trips that were super fun for the kids. But for me, field trips were stressful and exhausting. Even after visiting the best museums, I was always left wondering, did the kids learn anything today? I never felt like I cracked the code of how to ensure field trips were both fun and educational. I wondered if other teachers had the answer, so I decided to ask them. Last semester, I visited the websites of more than 400 South Carolina schools, and I reached out to more than 1,500 4th and 8th grade social studies teachers. Over 100 teachers completed my questionnaire, and I was able to talk with 8 teachers from across the state. Overwhelmingly, teachers feel that field trips are positive educational experiences, and they want to incorporate them into their classroom plans. However, teachers do have some logistical concerns, things like bathroom access and where to eat lunch. You know, the little things that, if overlooked, can get in the way of learning. Teachers also really appreciate when they're provided with a clear schedule, so students aren't able to be bored or have too much time between activities. Speaking of activities, teachers love when their students are provided with hands-on, active learning opportunities. Things like scavenger hunts, trying on historical clothing. These are activities that are not always available in their classrooms. Finally, it is essential for teachers to know that all of their students will be included. Knowing that appropriate activities will be provided for students with linguistic or physical difficulties can make the difference in whether teachers can even bring their students to a site. So, this is what teachers want, but they cannot achieve it alone. In my future research, I will apply these findings to the study of a summer institute, where teachers and museum staff will work together to create on-site, and post-field trip activities. Working together, we'll see how this collaboration impacts student learning and teacher smiles on field trips to historic sites. Thank you.
Thank you, Kristen. If you guys are planning to leave, please don't. You guys have to vote for the People's Choice Award for the round 1. So please stay here, vote, eat, and then go, and then come back. Okay, everyone, it's time for our first round People's Choice Award. I'm going to change the slide and you will see a QR code that will be on the screen just for 30 seconds. Make sure you're voting with your phones. You just have to scan the QR code and select the person, whomsoever you want to vote from the round first. Okay, the 30-second timer starts now. And your time is up. We have a small break. I think we'll be back in this room by 4:10 for the round 2 of the competition. Please join us outside for the drinks and appetizers. Thank you. Control freezer, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's frozen.
Thank you. Hello, hello. Welcome back, everyone. I hope everyone enjoyed the break. We are ready to begin the round two of our final competition, where we have our final 9 competitors present. Do we have the 3 competitors there? Do you have one? Do you have one more behind you? Ready? Okay. Give me a second, guys. First up, we have Shreya Sharma, a master's student from the Department of Animal and Veterinary Sciences from the College of Agriculture, Forestry, and Life Sciences. The title of Shreya's talk is Guardians of the Gut, Probiotics as a Promising Strategy to Fight Foodborne Diseases. Good luck, Shreya.
Do you remember the last time you got food poisoning and your stomach was aching? Well, most likely that was bad bacteria, and even more likely that was Campylobacter.
Campylobacter is the leading cause of foodborne illnesses in the US, contributing to a staggering 8 billion loss to the US economy. Campylobacter is mainly spread through contaminated chicken products and meat, and it colonizes the gut of the chicken as early as 2 weeks of age. But here's the interesting thing. Campylobacter does not cause any disease in chicken. It only acts as a carrier for more human infection. So, in order to stop the transmission of Campylobacter in human, it is important to reduce the colonization in chickens. So what is the solution? Antibiotics have been used in the past, but it comes with this wide public health risk of antibiotic resistance. You may often hear your doctors saying, don't use too much of antibiotics, it might stop working when you need them. In 2017, the FDA banned antibiotics in chicken feed. Thus, it is important for us to look at more antibiotic-free alternatives. So what is the alternative? The alternative is probiotics. Probiotics are good bacteria that help fight against these bad bacteria by competing for space and nutrients and for maintaining the overall microbial community in the gut. But what if we inoculate these probiotics early, right at the very start? That is the focus of my research. My findings have shown that early in ovo feeding of probiotics can lead to greater diversity and early immunity in the gut, which are two big indicators for a healthy gut. In ovo, vaccination has been widely used in the poultry industry, and by implicating the same for probiotics, we can have reduced manual cost, greater scalability, and standardized dosing. Not just to combat Campylobacter, but any foodborne diseases. So, the next time you grab a pack of Chick-fil-A, know that there are scientists like me who try to keep your food safe. Thank you.
That was amazing, Shreya. Next up, we have Athira Babu, a PhD student in the Department of Chemistry from the College of Sciences. The title of Athira's talk is Beyond Silicon, the Future of Quantum Materials. Good luck, Athira.
I'm keeping my phone here. Okay. Hello everyone. Picture a cell phone from 20 years ago and compare that with the cell phones that you have in your pockets today. Over the years, we see that cell phones have become more powerful, faster, and smarter indeed. But the sad part is that the silicon, which is the backbone of these cell phones, are hitting its limit. It overheats, it drains a lot of energy, and it can store only a limited amount of data now. So now the question is, what is the next material after silicon? This is where my research comes into play. In our lab, we create new materials called quantum materials that can go beyond silicon. The periodic table is our friend in this work. We begin by creating materials from the periodic table by combining them based on their electronic properties. We grind them together and heat them to high temperature where these new materials are formed. We are not only creating these materials, but we also study their properties, such as their magnetic behavior, to understand their fundamentals and gain insights into their potentials. These quantum materials are important because they have high processing power. For example, a computer today takes 2 days to calculate a complex calculation. But if you have a quantum computer, it might take only 2 seconds to do the same. They are also found to be highly energy efficient and they can store large amount of data in small spaces. We strongly believe that these quantum materials could spark a quantum leap in technology. Imagine a cell phone 20 years from now, which is more faster, more efficient, and highly energy reliable. With these quantum materials, we are not just pushing the boundaries, but we are also redetermining what is possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Athira. Next up, we have Josie Nesikos, a master's student in the Department of Agricultural Sciences from the College of Architecture, Art, and Construction. The title of Josie's talk is "Got Traceability? Consumer Preferences for the Use of Blockchain to Verify Products Claims for Milk." Good luck, Josie.
This one right. Okay. Have you ever gone to purchase something in the grocery store and thought to yourself, is this actually organic or good for the environment? I know I have, because as a consumer, we can't verify these claims through consumption alone. So we rely on trust that product labels are accurate. However, we know there are dishonest companies that use false or misleading labels in order to make additional profit. This causes economic harm not only to producers that honestly label their products, but to us as consumers who are paying more for a product we're not actually receiving. So what if there was a way to verify the accuracy of product labels? The United States Department of Agriculture has proposed blockchain technology as a solution to labeling fraud. Blockchain is simply a method of digital record keeping that's more secure than other methods, and blockchain verified information, like a product's journey through the supply chain, organic or carbon footprint certificate, can be provided to consumers through scannable QR codes on products. However, blockchain can be costly to implement. In order to determine if blockchain is a viable solution to labeling fraud, we study if people are willing to pay more for products that use blockchain to verify organic and carbon footprint claims. We study this specifically for cow milk because it's a product that often carries these labels, and because blockchain has already been shown to be effective at detecting fraudulent labeling for this product. We surveyed over 1,000 consumers across the United States and asked them to choose between cow milk products with different combinations of price, labels, and QR codes, some leading to non-verified product information and some leading to blockchain-verified product information. What we found was really interesting. Overall, consumers were not willing to pay more for organic and lower carbon footprint products with QR codes leading to non-verified information. However, they were willing to pay an additional 75 cents per half gallon of cow milk for access to that blockchain verified information. That's a pretty significant price premium, but how does knowing it help us? Well, companies need to know if the benefit of implementing blockchain outweighs the cost of doing so in order to determine profitability. For example, a company like Horizon Milk, whose products already carry organic and carbon footprint labels, can use this 75-cent premium to determine if blockchain is a viable way for them to increase consumer trust in their brand, their labels, and therefore make more profit. On the consumer end, this premium can inform decisions that ensure we get the products we're actually paying for. So, the next time you go to the grocery store, I want you to consider the following. How much more would you specifically be willing to pay for verifiably accurate product labels? Thank you.
Good job, Josie. I have a request to all the competitors. You just have to press the clicker once, just once, and give it a few seconds to change the slide. If you press it 2 times, it will change the slide 2 times, which we don't want. Just once, please. Next up, we have Roshan Bandiwadekar, a master student in the Construction Science and Management in the College of Architecture, Art and Construction. The title of Roshan's talk is Bridging the Gap, Cost-Effective Solutions to Reduce Carbon Emission in Construction. Good luck, Roshan.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for being here today. Nowadays, you guys may have noticed that the climates are changing pretty rapidly. They are pretty unpredictable and they are becoming warmer. The reason behind this is emissions, which is also called as the global warming. To stop the carbon emission increase across the globe, the solutions different industry came up with, and you will be surprised to know that the construction industry is the highest carbon emitting industry right now, contributing to almost 40% of emission for a single industry. That's massive. Just imagine somehow we were able to mitigate or manage the emissions in that particular industry. That will be impactful, right? To solve this problem, researchers in the construction industry came up with different sustainable solutions. And among one of them, the most promising is the prefabrication construction. So what prefabrication is though? It is similar to like building a Lego set where you just attach the components of the model and the whole model is ready. That's it. Similarly, in the construction industry, the components of a building like wall, doors, and windows, they're attached or manufactured in the factory and the whole process is ready. That's the prefabrication. Usually this technique is faster, is cost effective, and sustainable as well. Now, what's the problem then? We have the solution for it, right? The problem is the project owners who funds the project, they have really hard time to know the impact of carbon emission on that project. And usually there is no linkage between the cost and the carbon emission, no balance. That's why they will go with the most cost-effective product. That's not the problem though. We are not able to understand them and find the solution for it. To do the solution of the problem of this, I created a system which is a 3D based automated system, calculates the carbon emission and the construction cost simultaneously. And there is a feature in my system for the owner who can choose lot of different type of materials they want to go with, or the sizes of the model they can go with. They can tweak the system and choose the best possible option which is aligning there with the budget as well as it's cost effective. So the impact and the advantages of my system is, first, the owner will make an informed decision because they will have all the possible numbers in front of him and they will choose the possible option which aligns and which is the best possible thing for them considering the cost. Second, prefabrication will be used in the industry, which is a sustainable solution. And lastly, the construction industry will be a way more sustainable industry in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Roshan. Next up, we have Rahul Rajiv, a PhD candidate in the material science and engineering from the College of Engineering, Computing and Applied Sciences. The title of Rahul's talk is Powering the Future, Safer, Longer Lasting Batteries with Solid State Innovation. Good luck, Rahul. Just press once. Just press once.
Okay. Over the past month, during the impact of Helene, we have seen the importance of batteries in our life. The devices that kept you connected to your loved ones, those that provided you light, and those which helped you kept the life supporting system in the hospitals running were all powered by batteries. Though hidden from our sight, these batteries play a crucial role in our life. But when you look back, did these batteries actually last till the power was restored? And why do we keep hearing news of battery catching fire? Are they really safe? Even with these questions standing, there are over 5 billion batteries that are fabricated every year, and over 10,000 reported cases of injuries from battery fires. One of the most famous cases was that of Samsung Note 7 phone catching fire. These devices were even banned from aircraft. Sights of electric cars, mopeds, or even earbuds catching fire are in rare. So why does this happen? So we analyzed these devices. All of them had one single thing in common. The batteries used in these devices had a liquid component responsible for charge conduction. And these liquid tend to leak and catch fire. And that's where the importance of my research kicks in. I'm trying to replace these liquid material with solid ones. But the challenge, though, is that charges move slower in solids compared to liquids. So we had to modify this material or develop new material in which the charge can move faster, like in liquids. So what we did is we tailored the material at atomic level, added some tiny gaps in this material to have space for the charge to jump smoothly. So now we have a material which is solid but still can conduct faster. Still can conduct faster. So the overall idea is that we were trying to make a solid material which can conduct faster, and now that we can have batteries which can we can charge faster, which can last for days or even months, all while being safe. So the overall impact, it not just contributes towards atomic study of material, but can also add up towards a huger impact to the world by providing a safer and greener battery technologies. Thank you.
Thank you, Rahul. Next up, we have Alexis Yeo, a master's student in the biological sciences from the College of Sciences. The title of Alexis' talk is Characterizing Replication of the Insect Virus, HZNV2. Good luck, Alexis.
Thank you. In the US, millions of dollars are lost to crop damage annually. To what, you may ask? The caterpillars of the corn earworm. So how do we stop this? We propose utilizing the insect virus HVNV2, which causes sterility in offspring laid by infected moths. So that means that in infected or in populations where infection occurs, that less caterpillars are present, and that means less damage can occur. However, this virus can be present in populations and not cause sterility. How or why this occurs is we don't know. So I will be looking at characterizing replication, which is part of the virus life cycle where the amount of virus particles increase. So to characterize replication, I will be infecting insect cells and quantifying the amount of virus over a 24-hour period to create something we call a growth curve. After creating this growth curve, I'll be infecting corn earworm females and mating them with uninfected males and quantifying the amount of virus in offspring at each developmental age. This will then allow me to identify if replication is occurring through development or if it's only happening in the adult moths. Altogether, these data will allow me to actually identify what is happening in the field and hopefully allow us to optimize the utilization of HNV2 as a pest control strategy. Thank you.
Thank you, Alexis. Please don't go anywhere. We are not trying to kill you. Next up, we have Logan Qualls, a PhD candidate in the Education and Human Development from the College of Education. The title of Logan's talk is Collaboration in action, comparing mixed reality simulation and live role play. Good luck, Logan.
Okay. I think it has me. Yeah? You've probably heard the phrase practice makes perfect. Well, I don't know that I agree that the aim of practice is perfection, so I'd like to propose a change. How about practice makes confident? I'm Logan Qualls, and I'm going to share with you a few ideas about integrating practice-based learning opportunities into pre-service teacher coursework with the aim of developing confident and knowledgeable future teachers who can effectively collaborate. Teacher training typically involves instructional strategies, methods, theories, but will often leave out those general professional skills like collaboration. Teachers, like most professionals, will frequently collaborate in a meeting, but teachers tend to collaborate daily in teacher teams and in partnerships called co-teaching. Effective collaboration has been shown to increase student outcomes as well as develop more positive work environments. But pre-service teachers will report that they don't feel prepared to effectively collaborate with other professionals. Could a lack of practice be the disconnect between the skills that they need and the skills they feel confident in applying? Practice-based learning opportunities can be integrated in a variety of ways. I'm interested in better understanding simulation. Mixed reality simulation, seen here, is the high-tech version of role play, which you may be more familiar with, where people take on roles to act out different scenarios. In my prior work, I tested pre-service teachers practicing a parent meeting in mixed reality simulation or live role play. Though I didn't find any significant differences between the two groups, both had significant positive shifts in their knowledge of and confidence in implementing effective collaborative skills like active listening and consensus making, which leads me to my next questions. Do pre-service teachers have a preference between these two practice types, and which is most effective in building their confidence? I aim to answer these two questions with a counterbalanced group design study with a pre- and post-test for perceptions. I'll integrate a collaborative experience into an introduction to special education course by having participants practice a co-planning meeting to talk about accommodations in a lesson for students with disabilities. They'll practice this twice and will be randomly assigned an initial practice type. So if they start in mixed reality simulation, they'll practice in live role play second. At the conclusion, they'll provide their preferences. Perceptions and preferences will be reported with paired t-tests and summary statistics. Any group differences or effect sizes will also be reported. Because nothing happens for free, I'll also provide a cost analysis of all the time needed and money spent to put these practices into action. This will provide university faculty members with a better idea of what it takes to use simulated practice in their coursework. As I said before, I don't think the aim of practice is perfection, but to build confidence. And pre-service teachers need the opportunity to put their collaborative skills in action in a way that they like. Thank you.
Thank you, Logan. Our next finalist is Gagandeep Kaur, a PhD student in the Department of Plant and Environmental Sciences from the College of Agriculture, Forestry and Life Sciences. The title of Gagandeep's talk is Crop Immunization, a New Era in the Sustainable Agriculture. Good luck, Gagandeep.
Thank you. Thank you. Mic is working? Yeah, okay. Hey, I hope you all are sitting here comfortably in this air-conditioned room. But what if I asked you to step outside and stand under the scorching sun, or in freezing winter cold, or in pouring rain without umbrella? It would be tough, right? Now imagine if you couldn't move to escape these conditions. That's exactly how it is for us. We plants are stuck in one place, facing whatever nature throws at us, whether it's extreme heat, bitter cold, or a deadly herbicide. But here's an exciting part. Just like you get vaccinated to protect yourself from diseases, we plants can also get something like a vaccine to survive these conditions, thanks to priming. The vaccine in plants is called priming treatment. Think of it like this. When you get a flu shot, you are introduced to a tiny, harmless bit of the virus. This small dose doesn't make you sick, but gets your body ready to fight the real virus if it shows up. Similarly, the scientists can find certain vaccines for us to survive the environmental stresses. To test the concept of priming in plants, first, we were exposed to a tiny, harmless dose of the herbicide, which was not enough to harm us, but was enough to wake up our defenses. And then subsequently, we were exposed to different deadly doses of herbicides. The results were astonishing. We, the primed plants, survived. But our unprimed friends, unfortunately, they didn't make it. In this process, plant researchers observed our stress responses by measuring a compound in our tissue called shikmate, which typically rises when we are under herbicidal stress. Remarkably, even after getting exposed to such lethal doses of herbicide, we primed plants showed no significant increase in this shikmate compound as compared to the unprimed ones. It means we are better prepared to tackle the future stresses if they shows up. You might wonder what this priming did to us. Priming brings changes in our DNA, and this DNA starts making certain defense-related proteins which will help us survive the future stresses. So in other words, it's like a rehearsal before the real show of dealing with herbicide. But why does this matter to you? Well, in a world where extreme weather events like floods, droughts, and heat waves are becoming more common, this priming could give us an edge. Helping us survive means we can make sure there's enough food supply for everyone you to rely on. So at last, I leave you with this thought. Help us endure. Together, we can survive the harsh environment. Because if we survive, you thrive. Thank you.
Thank you, Gagandeep. Our last competitor for 3MT 2024 is Matt Harrington. He's a master's student in the Department of Bioengineering from the College of Engineering, Computing, and Applied Sciences. The title of Matt's talk is Engineering for Change, Combating Racial Disparities of Breast Cancer through Tumor Microenvironments. Good luck, Matt. Just press this clicker once. Okay. Only once.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you. Would you believe me if I told you that breast cancer can have different outcomes just based on your family's history? Many of us probably have a mother, an aunt, or a close friend that's been diagnosed, and millions have fought the battle themselves. But the risk is not the same for everyone. So would you still believe me if I told you that the most severe form of breast cancer affects Black women 3 times as much as white women? Many people don't. In fact, the majority of clinical trials in the United States are focused on people like me, white men. And those drugs are still used and expected to work in every racial group and for every gender. But the fact is, they often don't. Luckily, our research into the deadliest form of breast cancer, triple-negative breast cancer, is aiming to change this. Triple-negative tumors are missing 3 druggable targets that are typically found on other forms of breast cancer. Without those targets, the triple-negative tumor is more aggressive, harder to treat, and has worse patient outcomes. Unfortunately, women of African ancestry are more likely to develop triple-negative breast cancer than women of European ancestry, and they face mortality rates higher than any other racial group. So our question is, why? Well, to start, DNA carries the instructions for traits that can be inherited, like hair color or skin color. But there are also traits that can be inherited that make cancer more common and harder to treat. We found one trait that controls the tumor microenvironment. If we think of the tumor as an invasive plant, the microenvironment is the air and the soil. It feeds that tumor. And eventually, these plants will produce seeds that lead to more plants and overcrowding the garden. This is what happens when tumor cells spread to other parts of the body and become deadly. So, what can we do about this? We collect breast cancer samples from both ancestry groups and compare their microenvironments. From there, we can create a digital profile that shows us which microenvironment traits are more common in women of African ancestry. And with that information, we can create a drug that targets their specific microenvironments and stop tumors from spreading. The bottom line is this. If we understand which traits are more common in women of African ancestry, we can work with communities to make treatments that work for them, turning their microenvironment against the tumor. And that could mean the difference, turning the tide in a patient's fight against triple-negative breast cancer. And it could mean the difference between spending the holidays with a loved one or without her. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. And that concludes our finals for Clemson University 2024 3-minute thesis competition. It's time for People's Choice again. As before, we will be voting for the People's Choice just for the round 2 participants. You will see a QR code again just for 30 seconds on your screen. So make sure you're ready with your phones and not more than 30 seconds. And no cheating, please. The time starts now. And your time is up. So we are going to take a little break for deciding on winners, writing the checks and everything. Please join us outside for the little refreshments and drinks, and we will be back after 20 minutes. That should be around 5:20ish. So thank you guys. We'll see you again. Welcome back, everyone. The research initiative committees of Graduate Student Government and the Graduate School are proud to announce the winners of this year's 3-minute thesis competition. Just a reminder, the first place winner will receive $1,000, the second place will receive $750, and the third place will receive $500, and the people's choice for both the rounds, $250 each. I would like to request all of the judges to please come on the stage so that our winners can get pictures with all of you. And I would like to request Dr. Van Pembroke, Dr. Pesgrave too, please come here. You have done so much work. The first award that we are announcing is the People's Choice from the round first. I would like to highlight that the winning People's Choice does not discount any finalist from still placing in the competition or winning any of the awards. The scores from the audience and those of the judges are calculated independently from each other for People's Choice. So the People's Choice winner for the round 1 of 2024 Clemson University 3-minute thesis competition is Talon. I use the touchpad. Talon. No, it's not you. I did something wrong. It's me.
Dun, dun, dun.
Praise and love. Okay. It's time for the People's Choice Award for the round 2. And the People's Choice winner for the round 2 of 2024 Clemson University's 3-minute thesis competition is Matt Harrington from CCAS. Congratulations. Now it's time for our 3 winners. We'll start with the third place. The third place winner of 2024 Clemson University's 3-minute thesis competition is Josie from CAC. Congratulations, Josie. The second place winner of the 2024 Clemson University 3-minute thesis competition is Jason Mol Singh from CAFLS. Congratulations, Jason Mol. Yay. And now it's time for the first place winner. Any guesses, guys? Do you want to guess? No? Too scared? I understand. Okay. So for the first place winner, who's going to go to Texas next year to participate in regionals and win like how Vishal did. And our first place winner is Matt Harrington from CCAS. Congratulations, Matt. We'll take a group picture with all the finalists. Yeah. I would request all the finalists, all our 18 finalists, to come up on the stage so we can take a picture with all our judges and RI team. Yeah, first finalists. Just finalists only first.
वो 10 रहे हैं
Yay! Now I would like to request the whole RI team, research initiatives, Ryan and Evan, come. Research initiatives team, we'll take a picture with all our judges. And Dr. Marik and Dr. Pesgraves. Yes, where is my sheet? And that concludes our 3MT competition. Thank you everyone for being here. To all our presenters, thank you all of the judges. Thank you so much. Have a great evening, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much. We have to distribute to according to the people to send the feedback. No, these are judges' names.